Well, you fought already against Khamzat.
Yes.
We think or we hope that RDR will be doing that also soon. What's, in your opinion, the key for him to win that fight?
I think from the whole division, I think he's the one that has more chance. The whole division, I actually had in my channel, I have a big channel in Brazil. I was talking to Chimaev's coach, jiu-jitsu coach. We fought before, and I asked, who you think is the hardest fight? And then I said, I'm gonna tell you. But then you tell me, and then he said, who you think? I think it's RDR. And then he said, me too, I think it's RDR. I have all RDR videos. He already said, I watch everything already. I think he can win. I think his jiu-jitsu is high level. I trained with him a couple of times. He's very good, very long, very big. I don't know how he make middleweight. He's huge.
De Ridder's a real deal monster. And he's been good for a long time. If you're not paying attention to the international scene, De Ridder's been a name that's been at the top of that list for a long time.
Or a lot of you guys don't acknowledge anything outside of the UFC, but let you guys know, this gentleman was a 2-divisional sport champion and 1 championship. He's got a lot of great finishes over there, and he's had a lot of great battles with Anatoly Mannequin as well.
Joe Rogan sends a clear warning message to newly crowned UFC middleweight champion Khamzat Chimaev, and it's about a fighter who could potentially end his undefeated streak. Plus, Chimaev's brutal response to all his haters after dominating Dricus Du Plessis at UFC 319. Stay tuned as we break down why Rogan believes Reinier De Ridder is the man who can beat Borz, and how Chimaev is firing back at everyone who doubted him. Let's start with what happened at UFC 319 in Chicago. Khamzat Chimaev absolutely dominated former champion Dricus Du Plessis, controlling him for 5 straight rounds to claim his first UFC title.
Looking at the fight with Khamzat Chimaev and DDP, man, how do you break that fight down? And what could have DDP done a little bit different?
Khamzat was very dominant. He got every takedown. There were a couple of moments where I was a bit frustrated with what Dricus did. He fell to the guillotine a couple times, like very sloppily, and then he had that little moment of getting up, and then he wasted it by falling back to his guillotine. I was surprised that he didn't have a chance to get up there. Khamzat was so well in control there. It was very surprising to me.
Yeah, I was just training with Strickland over the last couple of weeks, so it wouldn't be as nice to call him out, I guess. But why not Khamzat? That would be a nice matchup, grappling-wise. Yeah, it'd be cool.
But here's where it gets interesting. Despite being a heavy betting favorite, many prominent UFC figures picked against Chimaev. We're talking about big names like Israel Adesanya, Alexander Volkanovski, Michael Bisping, Demetrious Johnson, and Chael Sonnen. The consensus among these experts? Du Plessis would weather the early storm and take over in the later rounds with his superior gas tank. Boy, were they wrong. Chimaev took Du Plessis down in the opening seconds, and the same script played out round after round. Still, Knox barely had any answer for Chimaev's wrestling dominance.
Finish Khamzat later on, because Khamzat, if it gets to round 3, 4, 5, it's going to be a problem. It probably won't get to round 5. I say round 3 or 4, DDP. But if Khamzat's going to win.
So, with all that being said, who do I have winning between DDP taking on a Khamzat Chimaev? I'm going to have to go DDP, just because I feel DDP has fought the best of the division.
All right, so I am going with Dricus. You guys are going to see the first round, maybe even the second.
Shout out to Dricus Du Plessis for doing the interview. I'm going with Khamzat Chimaev, folks. No, I'm joking. I'm going with Dricus Du Plessis.
Absolute dogfight, back and forth, and then he's going to start to fade, and Dricus takes over. And Dricus Du Plessis will still be the middleweight champion of the world, and I think wouldn't surprise me if he got a late stoppage in the 4th or 5th.
I'm fired up for this fight.
And now, Chimaev is on a victory lap, and he's not holding back. The undefeated champion recently posted a compilation video of all those predictions, with a brutal message for his doubters. You understand now that you can't listen to these monkeys.
Finish Khamzat later on, because Khamzat, if it gets to round 3, 4, 5, it's going to be a problem. It probably won't get to round 5. I say round 3 or 4, DDP. But if Khamzat's going to win.
So, with all that being said, who do I have winning between DDP taking on a Khamzat Chimaev? I'm going to have to go DDP, just because I feel DDP has fought the best of the division.
All right, so I am going with Dricus. You guys are going to see the first round, maybe even the second.
Shout out to Dricus Du Plessis for doing the interview. I'm going with Khamzat Chimaev, folks. No, I'm joking. I'm going with Dricus Du Plessis.
Absolute dogfight, back and forth, and then he's going to start to fade, and Dricus takes over. And Dricus Du Plessis will still be the middleweight champion of the world, and I think wouldn't surprise me if he got a late stoppage in the fourth or fifth.
Strong words from the new champion, clearly enjoying his moment of vindication. But while Chimaev is celebrating and calling out his critics, Joe Rogan has issued a serious warning to the new champion. During the UFC 319 post-fight broadcast, Rogan identified the one man he believes could dethrone Chimaev. That man, Reinier De Ridder. Here's what Rogan said. Reinier De Ridder, in particular, given his ability to grapple on the ground and also his ability to stand and land shots, particularly that knee he lands, that is nasty. Toughness, experience, he throws those combinations with that long lead-in knee. He's interesting.
I like that. His striking's terrifying. Yeah. De Ridder's got that knee to the body that is so interesting. The way he fucking forces you to clinch and then blast that knee to the body.
Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky.
So good in the entrance with that knee to the body.
Yeah.
And when he did that over and over and over again, it's like, wow. Like,
paid for it one time with that overhand.
That's true.
And that's where Rodriguez could be fucking.
Yeah.
Throw that knee and fucking RoboCop had the thing locked on his jaw.
Yeah.
But perfect nickname for him too. I know. RoboCop. He looks like him.
Does look like him.
Yeah, that's a fight, right? De Ridder and RoboCop's a fight.
That'd be a crazy fight. Yeah.
That's a good one.
And Rogan isn't alone in this assessment. Former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold agrees, stating, "In reality, I like De Ridder. He's probably the #1 choice for this thing, for sure. But why De Ridder? What makes this former one championship double champion so dangerous?"
But he's so big.
Yeah.
He's so big for 85.
But so is RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The way he handled Bo Nickel, he made Bo Nickel look small.
I thought that was a horrible matchup for Bo Nickel.
But it was a lot of those knees to the body. Those knees to the body were nasty,
into the
man.
face.
He was so good at it. He was so good at throwing that knee to the body.
He's very calm, too.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's been through it, man. I mean, we haven't seen him, but over in ONE FC, there it is. That knee to the body is so nasty. It's so nice.
Since joining the UFC, the Dutchman has been nothing short of impressive. 4 straight wins in just 9 months. He's scheduled to face Anthony Hernandez in October, potentially setting up a title eliminator. The key factor? His elite-level jiu-jitsu and grappling ability. As Gilbert Burns, who once pushed Chimaev to his limits, explained, "To beat this kind of high-level wrestler, you need to have wrestling defense, and your jiu-jitsu has got to be good. You've got to know how to be in bad positions, protect yourself, get up and strike. And I think RDR can do that." Speaking of Chimaev's future, the newly crowned champion has his sights set on something unprecedented in UFC history.
That sucks.
And on the ground, he's a monster.
Yeah.
What he did to Kevin Holland, I was like, whoa. Okay.
Jiu-jitsu's on point, man.
So that's another 85er. I mean, think about that division. You got Fluffy, who just like has this breakout performance last weekend. Shit. You got, the whole division.
Fluffy's funny,
what about that African dude?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I'm scared of him. He might be the one.
Chimaev has been actively campaigning for a spot on the rumored UFC White House card, scheduled for summer 2026 to commemorate America's 250th anniversary. The champion recently posted an edited image of himself in front of the White House, doubling down on his interest. This isn't just fantasy booking. Dana White has already revealed mock-up images of the South Lawn setup, with an octagon designed to accommodate fewer than 5,000 fans, while additional viewers would watch from big screens in a nearby park. Fan reactions have been mixed, with some joking, "Someone notify the Secret Service," while others are excited about the possibility of seeing Chimaev defend his title in such a historic setting.
Everyone's talking about that White House fight, that White House card next year.
Bro,
what's your interest in...
Look at my face. I don't think so. They let me come over there.
What makes this even more intriguing is Chimaev's gratitude toward President Trump for allowing him to compete in the United States again, though he admits the generosity might not extend to inclusion on such a prestigious card. But imagine it, Khamzat Chimaev defending his middleweight title with the White House as the backdrop. It would certainly cement his legacy as one of the sport's biggest stars. So where does this leave the middleweight division? Du Plessis, despite his first UFC loss, remains defiant. The South African posted on Instagram, If you think your hate has any effect on me, go look at the CV. He's clearly not going anywhere and will likely work his way back to another title shot.
Yeah, of course, everybody knows I don't like the guy. He didn't beat anybody in the middleweight division, top contenders or something, or even top 15. He didn't beat anybody in the top 15 middleweight division. How you can take this guy serious, you know? He barely cold beat Usman in 10 days short notice. Usman is a welterweight. He didn't cut away to middleweight. And everybody saw that fight. I was there. After beat Whitaker, bro, I will not want to hear his name, him. He need to do something. He need to beat somebody at least top 10 in the middleweight. He didn't yet, and I don't think he's capable.
Meanwhile, the division is heating up with potential contenders. Besides De Ridder, we have names like Paulo Costa being mentioned by former champions as potential threats to Chimaev's reign. Luke Rockhold noted, "I don't like to give him much credit because he's not that good, but I still think a guy like Paulo Costa would pose problems. His wrestling defense is not bad, and look at what he did against Yoel Romero."
Oh my gosh.
Bro. They all can do everything. But then you have guys like Pereira, who's really a specialist. He's a kickboxing specialist.
Yeah, he's fire.
Do you ever watch him kickbox?
Nah, it's crazy.
I was a giant fan of his before he ever got to the UFC. I was telling everybody about him. Like, if this guy gets to MMA, we got fucking problems. You got problems. That guy, he just has to touch you once.
Shit's going down.
He's so different than anybody else in the division. Like, he knocks everybody out. Everybody hits hard. They all hit hard.
But
that
shit
fucking
down.
dude hits hard. hard. You know they have that punch machine?
Oh, yeah,
where
you can see the power?
blast it?
What's his power?
190.
Oh,
Francis Ngannou had like 130.
Alex Pereira has sent a crystal-clear message to reigning champion Magomed Ankalaev ahead of their highly anticipated rematch at UFC 320. Plus, Joe Rogan reveals shocking details about Pereira's otherworldly punching power that will leave you speechless. And this is your complete breakdown of the biggest stories shaking up the MMA world right now. Let's start with the bombshell that has the entire MMA community talking. Alex Pereira didn't just promise victory at UFC 320. He delivered what might be the most devastating psychological warfare we've seen in years.
Well, huge fight, October 4th, UFC 320, the rematch. It's been a very interesting road to get to this point. And so if you don't mind, I want to ask about that, because it seemed like for a while you weren't saying much. You haven't really said much since the last fight. You were on the show, you did a couple things here or there, but Magomed, or someone tweeting as Magomed, continued to try to put out a theory that you didn't want to fight, that you weren't available, that you were turning down fights.
Here's what Potan told the media, and I quote, "If Ankalaev loses, it's unlikely he gets another title shot. I think the story will be over. Those aren't just fighting words. That's a man who believes he's about to end someone's championship dreams forever." Think about the weight of that statement. Pereira isn't just confident about winning back his belt. He's predicting that this loss will permanently derail Ankalaev's title aspirations. This comes from a fighter who knows exactly what it feels like to lose a championship, having dropped his light heavyweight title to Ankalaev at UFC 313 just 7 months ago.
Well, start from before the first fight. Seemed that the UFC wouldn't even wanted to put him in. Alex multiple times said that he'll show interest in fighting him. They will not make the fight happen. Okay, the fight happened, went the way that it went. Since then, we kind of had an idea when Alex wanted to fight him. It was already conversation with the UFC, and this guy kept tweeting that, I want to fight this day, I want to fight this day. Alex already had a time frame for August. Couldn't happen in August because of the UFC, but and then October. But he the one that kept saying, I'm ready, I cannot fight, I'm ready, I want to fight, I'm ready, I want to fight. But seeing that this dude not even have power inside its own organization, you know. So, on Alex's perspective, he's fighting the time frame that he aimed for it. Not that he turned down fight or anything like that. He aimed for August. UFC gonna put together in August. They pushed to October.
But here's where it gets interesting. Pereira's confidence isn't coming from nowhere. During that recent interview, he revealed he's made significant adjustments during those 7 months between fights. He's not the same fighter who walked into that octagon in March. This rivalry has reached a boiling point, and it's getting personal. The tension between these two has been building ever since their first encounter, where Ankalaev won via unanimous decision to capture his first UFC title. What makes this even more compelling is that Pereira openly admits UFC 313 wasn't his night. He called it an off day and said he didn't feel right. But instead of making excuses, he's channeling that frustration into pure motivation.
Hey pessoal, algumas marcas, bom, mas estou bem. Descansar pouco, já tô voltando, né, como eu sempre fiz. Já aconteceu algumas vezes isso comigo, mas, eu tô bem, né? Agradeço todo o apoio de vocês, né? Com todo o carinho, sempre me apoiando. Tô recebendo muitas mensagens também de grande incentivo. Tô aqui com o pessoal, minha família, meu time, meus filhos, tá todo mundo aqui, todo mundo comendo aqui. Aí, ó. A gente pediu umas pizzas e é isso, né? Vida que segue. Obrigado a todo mundo, né? Obrigado ao meu time. E é isso, pessoal. Fazer essa revanche aí e ajustar algumas coisas, né? E voltar muito melhor. Pode esperar isso. Tá bom, pessoal? E é isso. Nunca desista dos seus sonhos. Chama.
The psychological warfare is real, folks. Ankalaev's team even accused Pereira of greasing before their first fight, an accusation that Poatan strongly denied, saying, quote, "You also got to ask his coach if we put oil on the mats too. Is that why Ankalaev fell on his back?" This is the kind of bad blood that makes for unforgettable fights.
Well, honestly, after the fight, it was expressed to the UFC that Alex had to heal a few injuries, take some time. He fought back-to-back multiple times next year. He needed a little break. It was promised for him that he'll be the next title challenger. He'll be fighting for the belt next. The whole thing of Ankalaev say that he don't want to fight, he didn't want to take the fight and stuff like that. Alex knew he was going to fight regardless, August or October. But now, if this guy keeps saying that, like, oh, Alex don't want to fight this and that, show that he don't even have power on the organization, that they don't care about him.
Now let's talk about why Alex Pereira might have every right to be this confident. Joe Rogan recently dropped some mind-blowing information about Pereira's punching power that puts everything into perspective. According to Rogan, Pereira registered 191 on the UFC's punch power machine. To put that in perspective, Francis Ngannou, widely considered to have the hardest punch in UFC history, registered 130. Let me repeat that. Pereira's punch measured 191 compared to Ngannou's 130 inches. But here's the kicker. Pereira did this with his right hand, which isn't even his power punch. His money shot is that devastating left hook that has sent so many fighters to the shadow realm.
190. Francis Ngannou had like 130.
Oh, yeah, he got punch power.
He's got more power than Ngannou. That's crazy. I mean, I can't even believe. I want to give Francis a second chance at it. I feel like he wasn't swinging hard enough. I feel like if he knows that Pereira
so
got
big,
190,
right? He was going a little harder.
He's so much bigger. Francis is like 270 natural. 270 pounds natural.
Like a hog walk.
Yeah, just giant. Massive. Crazy. And I feel like he could probably punch harder than he did. I feel like if he knew that Pereira was going to break that record, give him a second crack
at it.
He'd probably
go a little harder. He'd probably punch it a little bit more hip action.
Yeah, a lot more. Yeah, just fucking, you know, but right now I think Pereira has the hardest. See if you can find that video. It's crazy to watch because he even does it with his right hand, which is not his power punch.
And it still
his
was
power
130?
punch is his left hook.
Rogan described it perfectly. His power is just from God. It's a crazy gift. It's different from everybody's power. The sound when Pereira hits that machine is absolutely terrifying. And remember, Francis Ngannou is a natural 270-pound heavyweight. Pereira is doing this as a light heavyweight. The physics behind that kind of power in a smaller frame is simply unprecedented in combat sports.
His left hook is what he knocks out everybody with. But it might be that his left hook is faster and it's a better weapon because it's in the front, and his right hand is more powerful, but he just doesn't land it as often that way. Did you find it? It's crazy. You hear the thud? Put your headphones on real quick. Listen to this. Okay, give me some volume.
Oh my God.
191. Watch this. Check this out.
Oh. Damn.
Bro. That's so...
Right hook.
You have to understand how crazy that is.
Here's where the story gets even more incredible. Joe Rogan revealed that Pereira fought Ankalaev while dealing with a broken hand and norovirus. Let that sink in. He nearly pulled off one of the greatest comebacks in UFC history while fighting on one good hand and battling illness. Pereira's coach, Glover Teixeira, confirmed these details, saying Alex got sick in Australia and had to take it easy in training. When someone is sick, you have to slow down. They revealed that Pereira's preparation was severely compromised, yet he still went the distance with one of the division's most dangerous grapplers.